tombstone. Crowds below stirred like a rising storm. They brought him bound to my judgment hall, a silent man who seemed to stand so tall. No fear within his steady gaze, no trembling under Rome's displays. Just something deep I couldn't name, a quiet fire within the flame. What charge he bore? They shifted words like waves to shore. King of the Jews, they cried as one, their envy blazing like the sun. But in his face no pride was found, just truth that seemed to shake the ground. A man who clearly had no sword, yet ruled with presence, depth and word. I asked him, are you a king? He spoke of truth and everything. To me, a man too holy for his mockery. I thought the crowd might set him free, but hatred drowned their clemency. They clamor loud for Barabbas' chain, a murderer's freedom for mercy slain. My heart grew cold beneath their cries, but still I tried to calm the tide. I brought him bruised before their sight, hoping pity might undo their spite. A purple My wife came trembling with her plea, a dream had shaken her to agony. Have nothing to do with that righteous man, but fear drove out what truth began. I felt the empire on my chest, Caesar's shadow in my breath. With every shout, the crowd made clear they ruled through rage, and I through fear. The basin gleamed beside my throne, a symbol cold as polished stone. I washed my hands with trembling pride, pretending conscience lived inside. But water cannot cleanse the soul, nor silence justice left undone. His eyes still met me, soft yet strong, as though he knew I'd choose this wrong. When darkness fell across the day, I felt the earth beneath me shake. A voice cried out with heaven's breath, a love poured out through living death. A soldier whispered, trembling awed, surely this man was Son of God. In that moment all I feared suddenly seemed hollow, disappeared. Truth had stood before my eyes, and I had turned away. To rise, I wash my hands, but not my soul. Whispers rise from an empty tomb, rumors breaking through the gloom. They say the stone was rolled aside, that death itself was crucified. If he lives, then mercy still remains.